Hi, and welcome to the Clarity Challenge. My name is Mason I.B. West. Today, we're going to look at the second strength that you need as you navigate around your partner's weakness. We're using anger as our case study, and we're trying to find out some of the things we need to do. You said your partner has a weakness for anger. You said that because you meant that you do not have a weakness for anger. We're saying that to express your strength in the area of self-control, because you see, the opposite of anger, when somebody is weak in anger, in temper, the other person who is not weak enjoys the strength of self-control. And the proof of your strength in the area of self-control is in how you navigate to help your partner master or overcome, or not to be a victim, not to be susceptible, not to be easily beset by anger. People don't just get angry in a space. Put somebody in a space all by himself for 1 week, for 3 weeks, for 3 months. They may not just get angry. Who are you going to get angry with? With yourself? Every time you talk about anger as a weakness, somebody is getting angry with somebody about what somebody said, what somebody did. So anger is always an expression of displeasure with the life, the response, the attitude, the behavior of somebody else. So there is always a sense in which we aggravate our partner's weaknesses. And the things we're sharing are those things that we think, I believe, can help us deal with, cushion the effects, subdue, neutralize the anger. We're trying to learn influence instead of control. We're trying to learn influence. I'm going to talk about that later. We're trying to learn influence instead of control. So for today, we're looking at the second strength that you need to be able to deflate your partner's anger, or probably to not even allow them get angry at all. Now, the second strength you need is what I call patience and compassion. I'm taking 2 in 1. We say we're going to have 7 strengths. So today we're taking 2 at a time. Patience and compassion are critical requirements for containing the weakness of your partner. You got to be patient. You got to learn patience. No, you have to be patient with people. Like I always said, you also have weaknesses, and probably they are also patient with your weakness. The difference is that with anger, there is always a loud, a vocal, a dramatized expression. Yeah, some people can get angry and become quiet, become withdrawn, become reserved. But you see, with anger, there is always an obvious, whether verbalized or non-verbalized, obvious expression of the anger. Yet another person has a weakness that is not that expressed, is not dramatized. You have a weakness, you don't just know how to dress for. You are I don't know how to explain it. When it comes to putting colors together, when it comes to dressing up, you are such a mess. But there's nothing is loud about that. So you can express your weakness and not create a sin. But your partner, because his weakness is anger, or our weakness is anger, can express our weakness, and everybody is like, what's going on? And you want to paint the person black because you are like, she always creates a sin. So people look at this person as a bad person, as an ill-mannered person. But you don't dress well, and it's switching them off. It's getting on their nerves. But nobody sees that as an opprobrious lifestyle. But the point for me is that it's a weakness. Some people have an incredible, I don't know if this will qualify as a weakness, but people are not appreciative. You can be spent for a partner and they can't even say, wow, you are amazing. Wow, you make me feel loved. Wow, you make me feel like a king every time you do this. They can't even express it. No, they can't do that. They feel they don't owe you an appreciation. That probably could be a weakness for some people. but it's not as loud as the weakness of anger. So the temptation is to think, to categorize, to act, to behave like your partner is the worst person that ever lived, because they have a weakness that is loudly expressed, that is instantly obvious. It's like the elephant in the room. But for crying out loud, it's a weakness. And yours is a weakness. For the fact that you saw that weakness and chose, accepted to get married to them, means that you had in mind either to help them navigate through it, or you had an ulterior motive to change them. The first motive is good. You want to help them navigate through it so that over time they don't even need to get angry because you've understood them. The second motive is bad. You shot yourself in the foot when you came into a person's life with an intention to change them, with an intention to remodify them. And for crying out loud, even God has resigned from the business of trying to change people. He said clearly in the Word of God, my spirit shall no longer strive with man, for he is flesh. That's like saying my spirit shall no longer struggle with man. That man is in the flesh. I want to deal with people in the spirit. So God is not in the business of trying to change people. If you submit to him and to his processes, your change will be there, spontaneous. If you don't submit to it, it leaves you to yourself. In the same vein, it is so important that we understand that when a person is dealing with a weakness, they're dealing with something that has overcome them, and the best we can do is to help them. So patience is critical. You must learn to be patient and compassionate to your partner. This is profound. Now let me tell you why you need to be patient. Number one, when you see people struggling in a particular area of their lives, most times they are dealing with, number one, pain. Most times they are dealing with, number two, fear. Most times they are dealing with, number three, sadness that they can't even explain. You have no idea what people have dealt with. You have no idea what people are afraid of. Listen, unless you know what somebody is running away from, the pains of their past. Some people, certain things have happened to every member of their family. Listen, all the members of their family died before they were 45. They are now 43 and they are hell afraid what happens in 2 years. They are 44. They are afraid what happens in another year. They are already 40 and they are afraid about what happens in the next 5 years. You have no idea. That kind of fear can release certain psychological state that makes them get angry easily, and they're not talking. And you're like, but why wouldn't they talk? Excuse me. If you want them to talk, create an environment that enables them to talk. Worse still, if they're not the kind of people that talk. Not many men find it easy to express their fears to their partners. Not many men find it easy to express their pain to their partners. Not many men find it easy to express their sadness to their partner. Wrongly trained, they believe that they want to demonstrate strength. They want to show that they're in control. They want to show that they have their hands on everything. And so in that kind of situation, you realize that unless you show some compassion, unless you validate them, they're not able to come out to say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what is all over me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm afraid of the future. My finances are in this kind of situation. I'm threatened. The bills are getting higher than what is coming in. I don't know what to do. I'm in a bad state here. Not many people are going to tell you that. If you don't create the environment, if you don't make it easy, if you don't connect with them to the point where they can communicate. This is profound. This is a reality. You must face the fact. And so what people in that situation do, what they do is that they use anger as a protective shield. They use anger to feel powerful. They use anger to feel they're in control. But the truth is, they're not in control. The truth is, they feel so powerless. The truth is that they feel so insecure, that's the word. Feel so unprotected, feel so vulnerable. They feel so helpless. They feel so defeated. They feel so overwhelmed. And the way they express their overwhelm is by anger, just to feel like they're in charge. And let me say this, when it gets to a situation like this, you spoil things when you try to blame them. You spoil things when you try to accuse them. You spoil things when you try to fault them. You spoil things when you try to control them. That's not going to fix it. Trust me. Listen, it's going to mess things up. And trust me, you don't want to do that. You're going to lose them. You're going to get them more angry. You're going to realize that every other time they get angry, it's at another scale. It's at another dimension. And you don't want that. Because it's going to escalate and things can get out of hand. Trust me. But if you are patient with them, if you are compassionate with them, it can make a difference. Once you have this understanding, it should help you to become empathetic. I think it should help you to begin to ask them questions. During moments of calmness, you begin to ask them questions that you need to learn, conversation starters. You need to learn certain questions you will begin to ask them that will make them to begin to open up. As you pamper them, as you pat them on the back, as you rub them, as they demand for intimacy, you use the opportunity to hold conversations. I mean, you won't believe what is possible. Listen, you got to be patient. When they are already angry, wait. Don't always want to speak. Wait. Don't always want to be reactionary. Wait. They're reacting to something. They are already reacting to something. Coming in to also join the world of reactionaries, if there is any word like that, ain't going to fix things. Listen, we must learn to act, not to react. Actors are in control. They've mastered their scripts and they play out what they have intended to play out. Reactionaries just react to the situation. They just react. They don't respond. We must learn how to act, not react. Reactors are acting because of a preceding action. Actors don't mind what has been acted out. They calm down and then think for a second and then decide what they want to respond, decide what they want to say, so that they control their temper. It's about calmness. And like I said before, calmness is an art. You must learn it. When things happen, before you speak, breathe in and then breathe out. Always breathe in and then breathe out before you respond, so that you are not reacting. As soon as you put this and master this, put it under control and master it, you'll be amazed how you begin to respond to your partner. You'll be amazed the kind of change you will see, experience from their own end. You will realize that once you begin to act in this form, they stop reacting. They stop getting angry. They stop acting in the ways that amaze you. Listen, you'll be shocked at the difference that you are going to begin to experience. That relationship that looks like love took up wings. Romance, intimacy took them wings and flew out of the window. In that same relationship, you'll be amazed the kind of calmness. You'll be amazed the kind of connection. You can be amazed the kind of intimacy that you're going to begin to experience. I trust you got value. I'll see you again in my next video. Thank you and out.